Welcome back, it's Cameron301 here, and today we're doing the challenge of eating only bread for every meal for 1 week. So there isn't any catch to this, it's just eating different types of bread. So far I've got rolls, baguettes, naan, croissants, waffles, ciabatta, and for bread it also means sweet things as well, or anything in between. It can be classed as pastry or not. But we're going to start off today with croissants, and we're going to have some of those normal bread rolls, and we're also going to have what's the other thing called? I forgot the name of it, but you'll see it. I think it's like a brioche loaf, but I don't know the exact name, but it's vanilla flavored. It looks absolutely lovely. I'm excited to try it. It's probably gonna be very sweet. I'm not into sweet things, so hopefully it's not too sickly sweet, but I'll let you guys know and review it once I've eaten it. So since we're not eating proper food and we're only eating bread, we're having more than usual. Here we're going to eat 4 croissants. This is our breakfast, but we're eating this at lunchtime because we're starting our challenge late. Okay, these croissants are nice and soft. They're from Aldi. They're a little bit flaky. I like them to be a bit more flaky for my liking, but they're alright if you look inside. It's alright. I like a slight crunch from the pastry, but not a full-on crunch, just a soft crunch, if you know what I mean. But overall, I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. It's alright. If you want something to eat, you're hungry, it will do. Gonna fill you up. If you want a little bit more crunchy, you can toast them, so it's fine. These are the vanilla brioche rolls that I was talking about earlier. For me, they're a little bit sickly sweet. I feel like it's more of the egg more than anything else. But once you get rid of the egg, they're alright, they're not too sweet. I just feel like it's just a bit too much, and because of the texture. So here we had the same meal twice in a row, not on the same day. It's one for dinner, one for breakfast, I believe. It was just toast with margarine, no filling. Toast, no filling, just margarine, and it was alright. It's a little bit crunchy. It's alright. It's nice and filling. You can't really go into much detail. It's just like normal bread. It's a bit basic. I believe these are vanilla marble breads. They're meant to be really, really nice. I wasn't sure if they're going to be sickly sweet or a little bit, but for me, they're sickly sweet. I'll give them a 4 out of 10 at rating. But if you're into sweet stuff, then that's definitely the stuff for you. So here we had some vanilla sliced brioche rolls, along with some 2 chocolate Belgian waffles. I'm not technically sure of the Belgian waffles. It tasted like, it's very chocolatey. It was really nice. The vanilla rolls were a bit sweet, not as sweet as the first time I tried them, but the Belgian waffles, it was like the chocolate, you could smell it. It smells like dark chocolate. It smelled like halfway in between dark chocolate and milk chocolate. It looked like halfway in between. It was very nice. It was very tasty. It went really well. It was quite light and airy, and even though they're small, they went very filling. They were enough to settle your belly for a snack, so that was a great snack to have, along with our main food. Our next meal of the day was brioche rolls, along with olives and vegan cheese, and obviously margarine. Of course, you can't have bread without a spread. Margarine is flora, so it's not from dairy. And it was quite nice, to be honest. I quite liked the bread. It was filling enough where even 2 could fill you up, because usually they're quite light and not filling. Bread was quite savoury, it wasn't too sweet, but it was enough to carry you throughout the day. You wouldn't get hungry eating this at all. Although it doesn't look like very much, it looks very light. It's actually very valid, and it's very filling, and it's enough, what I believe would kill your hunger bugs for the rest of the evening. Moving on to our next meal, we had again the brioche loaf. We finished that now. These ones weren't as sweet as the last ones. I believe it was the egg that I didn't really like. The egg made it a bit too sickly and emphasised the sweetness, but this one was actually alright. It's only slightly sweet, and I don't know. I rated the bread the first time. I'd say I rated it about, I think I gave it a 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10, but I don't know anymore. I'll still stick with 3 out of 10 if that's what I originally gave it. It's alright, it was just too sweet for me. This is absolutely delicious. We had 3 pancakes with margarine and maple syrup. Absolutely lovely. Pancakes I used to have at school, I didn't really like them like this, but these ones, I give them an 8 out of 10. Even though they're quite small, they will hold your belly for a while, and that's all about filling light food, so it's not too much. We toasted 2 of them and left 1 untoasted to see how it tastes, and it all tasted absolutely fabulous. I would enjoy this so much. They're all so scrumptious. I advise you to get yourself to Aldi and buy some now. Continuing on, our next meal was crumpets with margarine. I'd give that a solid 6 out of 10. It was just a bit basic, so there wasn't anything special about it. But it wasn't bad either. It was nice and filling and nice and melt in your mouth. I had them toasted, so some people eat them by themselves. They taste nice either way, because I tried them the next day half toasted and they were good as well. So we're having the crumpets with margarine and pancakes. We're both with maple syrup. We're trying out maple syrup and crumpets because Canadian syrup. They say because everything does get we're eating a lot of sugar and processed food. So see how it tastes. I know it tastes because pancakes were good to have them before. These crumpets are good to have them before. Now let's see the combination of pancakes with Canadian syrup and margarine taste together. This is my breakfast, but I'm eating at lunchtime because I had to be somewhere early. So for our dinner today, we're gonna have pita bread with some mixed vegetables. We were originally gonna put this inside tortillas, but because it had like a garlic butter spread and we hadn't had pita bread yet, I thought we would use this. And yeah, it looks quite delicious. Can't wait to tuck into it. So here we had waffles with maple syrup and some margarine. It's very sweet. I admit the maple syrup didn't really go very well with the waffles. The waffles were nice and soft. We didn't toast in this time, so they were very like bread-like. I don't know if it's classed as a vermicelli or just batter. They were nice and they were doable. They were enjoyable as well, and I could certainly eat a lot more of them. And maybe you could put a little bit of fruit on them, like banana or something, to make them add a little bit of more sweetness and a little bit more flavour, but a bit of a healthy kick in there as well. Here I had some mixed vegetables with some vegan cheese inside my tortilla wraps. I'd say it was quite nice. All I would say is that the cheese had a nice soft melt in your mouth texture. It's gooey, a bit like mozzarella, even though it's imitation of cheddar, because we warmed it up, the toasted tortilla, so we warmed it up in the oven. And the vegetables didn't really have any seasoning on them, so it was a bit bland, but however we've got to put some more sauce in them. However, the cheese was enough to cover it, so it didn't need any sauce, so that's great. The seeded wrap was good, so you're getting a nutrition from the seeds and a little bit toasted, so nice and crunchy. When you bite into it, you can hear a big crunch, like crunch. So that was excellent to hear, and that's everything. Here I had some waffles with just margarine and maple syrup on them. I don't think I should put maple syrup on them. They were still alright, still nice. I give it a 6 out of 10 rating. So it was nice. It was a little bit sweet. There's a lot of sugar anyway. It didn't really need extra sugar from the maple syrup, so just the waffle by itself and margarine was enough. If I wasn't eating mainly bread, I would have put some fruit on it, like some banana, some strawberries, some raspberries, things like that, to make it go nicely. But it was alright still. Maybe a little bit of like cream as well. But yeah, it's alright. Here, I believe I had some mixed veg with some Perinese sauce inside the tortillas. It was very, very nice. I give it 8 out of 10 rating. Absolutely love it. It was a little bit spicy, but the Nando's Perinese was wicked. Absolutely wicked. I loved it. Also, I'm not sure if I put cheese in this one because I filmed this afterwards, so I think this one was just Perinese and with the mixed vegetables. The mixed vegetables, I didn't really season them, but the sauce was enough seasoning. That's all it really needed. Didn't need any more seasoning inside there, so it's absolutely perfect. And it was just a small little lunch, and it was filling as well. This time I had mixed veg with melted cheese and the Perinese inside the tortilla. That was absolutely fab. I give it a 9 out of 10. The tortilla was nice and crunchy. The Perinese spiced it up. The melted cheese added a little bit of texture and a little bit more flavour. It melts a bit like mozzarella, so it's nice. And then the vegetables had enough, like it melted in between the vegetables, so it just when I bite in, it could just crunch, and you can feel the food just melting in your mouth. It was tantalizing my taste buds. I loved it so much. I'm sure if you guys tried it, you would love it too. The mixed veg was made up of carrots, sweet corn and peas, but it was absolutely lovely, and it was absolutely lovely. Here I just got toast, plain toast. I don't think I put any filling in it. I might have had cheese in it, but I don't remember too well. So yeah, but I definitely had toast. I think it was just margarine and just nothing. It was okay. It's basic. 5 out of 10. I like mine medium sometimes white toast, sometimes the next stage up the brown toast, but I don't like burnt toast. Okay, so this time I've been using the same picture because I forgot to use I want to take a picture before eating it. So basically, wasn't toasted. I had just grated cheese, untoasted sandwich. It was the backs of the bread, and it was quite nice, even though it was soft. A lot of people don't like the hardbacks. We call it the crust here. For me, I don't mind them. I prefer them toasted, but it's nice. I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I was about to give it an 8, but I'll say I don't like to have backs untoasted, so that's why I would say if it was toasted, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. But the cheese, the flavour, texture, everything was absolutely lovely. The cheese just adds a bit of that like mouth-watering Moorish taste into your mouth, like tantalizing, tongue-tingling, tasty taste, if you know what I mean. But yeah, other than that, the next meal now we're about to have, so let's find out what it's gonna be. Okay, so this time I've been using the same picture because I forgot to use I want to take a picture before eating it. So basically, wasn't toasted. I had just grated cheese, untoasted sandwich. It was the backs of the bread, and it was quite nice, even though it was soft. A lot of people don't like the hardbacks. We call it the crust here. For me, I don't mind them. I prefer them toasted, but it's nice. I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I was about to give it an 8, but I'll say I don't like to have backs untoasted, so that's why I would say if it was toasted, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. But the cheese, the flavour, texture, everything was absolutely lovely. The cheese just adds a bit of that like mouth-watering Moorish taste into your mouth, like tantalizing, tongue-tingling, tasty taste, if you know what I mean. But yeah, other than that, the next meal now we're about to have, so let's find out what it's gonna be. Next, I had coriander naan bread. The coriander naan bread gave the bread a lot of flavour. It was very warm, very crunchy. I warmed it up in the oven. It was really. It tasted a bit like pizza crust around the edges. Like imagine if you put a little bit of cheese in that naan bread, it would taste exactly like Italian pizza. I literally loved the flavour. It was quite an earthy taste. I know some people aren't too keen on earthy taste, but for me, I don't mind if it's done right. I would give the naan bread a 9 out of 10. But the way in the picture, it looks like the bread's on the floor. It's not on the floor. It's just the way the angle is taken, it was just hanging over the plate. Yeah, just to let you know, I'm not a tramp. I'm not nasty like that. Yeah. Also, again, the next day we had naan bread again for breakfast. So this time we had it untoasted, but I've got to take a picture of it. And the bread was nice and soft. It wasn't as crunchy when it was untoasted, but I was still give it an 8 out of 10. I prefer it warm and with a crunch rather than just warm and soggy, because I think this one I warmed up in the microwave. The day before I warmed up in the oven. There's a clear difference between the two. I followed what it said on the packet with instructions. It said you could use the microwave or oven. I used the oven first day and then the microwave second day, if I'm remembering correctly. It might have been the other way around, but my description is accurate of how they both tasted done each way. And for dinner that night, I had different bread rolls. Basically, I had one with just cheese bread roll. I had one with olive and cheese. I had one with cheese and olives. I had one just olives. Overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Cheese and olives is the best combination. They're all filling. The bread's nice and soft. It was already pre-sliced, so you didn't have to cut it and make it uneven. Sometimes it happens when you use the butter knife to cut the bread and stuff. So yeah, the cheese was okay. I felt like the cheese, it felt a bit like I was just chewing with the bread with just the cheese. The cheese and olives was the best combination of the two. Olive by themselves, it felt like there was something missing, like it needed a bit of sauce, like some mango chutney or some spicy chili jam or something like that. That would have made it complete. But overall, I give it 7 out of 10. If you're hungry and need something to eat, this will do. It will fill your belly because there's lots of them and you've got different ingredients and a bit of flavour in your mouth too. Especially if you use cheese and olive combination together. And just for a little extra, finally we have 2 hot cross buns. They're a little bit squashed because my other bread on top was on top of them, so it squashed them. They were slightly sweet as usual, and I could taste like an orange peel and lemon peel. And people are quite surprised that Cocktail Buns has orange and lemon peel in it, but I've always tasted it, wondered why it tastes like that, but now I know why it is. That gives it a bit of a rich flavour, not rich as in sweet, but more, it's like slightly sour, if that makes sense. And obviously the currants inside the hot cross buns give it that little sweet flavour as well as the sugar. The dark brown bread is also, I'm going to assume because there's a lot of sugar. Altogether, I'll give these a 7 out of 10 as well. The only improvement I could say is that the balance between sourness and sweetness was not right, but if they got the balance right, it would have been absolutely perfect. That's all for this video. For now, peace out, and we'll see you next one. Peace out.